Hey, thanks so much for clicking on this episode and making sure that Facts Not Included is your go to source for all things movies and entertainment. So, just want to let you guys know that in the next few days, we will be dropping an interview with the wonderful Ashley Victoria Robinson. She will be on the podcast to discuss her latest comic book, Science. Science, yes, I said it there. Science. They need all the help they can get on their new Kickstarter. It's partly why she'll be on the episode, and they're doing really well right now with it, but they need all the help they can get. So definitely check out the Kickstarter and make sure you tune in to that episode. Thank you so much, and enjoy the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of Facts Not Included. This is a Tangent Friday episode, but technically it is being recorded on Thursday, September 13th. The reason is because, well, we got a lot of news yesterday regarding a certain Superman, if you know what I mean. A certain superhero was being talked about in the news quite a bit yesterday. And so it is early morning on Thursday, September 13th. I felt like recording this. There's still a lot of news that is to become... that is going to be coming out about this story. And so I will say whatever that is coming out of my mouth now is stuff that I learned about basically from Wednesday, the day that the story came out. So please don't be mad at me come Friday and the news comes out that he's back, he never left, or they hired Schmeagol to play Superman. I don't know what the hell is going on. And so this is just my interpretation of what the events, what transpired yesterday from the top of my head. Remember, this this podcast is called Facts Not Included, so I'm not going to have a ton of things in front of me right now. It's just going to be off the top of my head. And so, with that being said, yesterday was an interesting day in the world of comic book movies and just movie world in general. And so what transpired is we all woke up in the morning, hopefully, we all woke up to the news that Henry Cavill, according to the Hollywood Reporter, was out as Superman. And we were all just, what? Like, wait, what happened? Like, why? Where the hell did this come from? Type of, thoughts were running through our heads. And so we were all very confused and just like, why is this news happening today out of all days on a random Wednesday during the week? Nothing was set up for this or whatever. I mean, that's what people were kind of thinking, I'm assuming. At least that's what I was thinking. Why is this even happening right now? Nothing led to this, at least from our understanding. And so, okay. So then what happens is, you read the article, and it's all just reports, it seems, that a studio insider, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so it is said that part of the reason is because they want to focus on different things, and it seems like the movie a new Superman movie won't happen for years. And so at this point, might as well just axe him, it seems, right? That's what I got from reading that and understanding what another YouTuber that I'll mention later basically was saying from this article. And so again, very confused, shared it with the guys. The guys were like Antonio was very like, what the fuck about it, and like it's so random, so confusing. Because let's be honest, in my opinion, I don't know about everybody else's, but in my opinion, I love Man of Steel. I think that movie is fantastic. It is phenomenal. I'm not even a Superman fan, and I think I've talked about this on the podcast many occasions. It is probably one of my favorite comic book movies ever made, and it touches on so many interesting, so many different ways you could do the Superman character. It was new, it was fresh, it was kind of sexy in my opinion at the time, and still is. It still holds up. 5 years later, it's still a really great movie, in my opinion. And so, and then his work on Batman vs Superman was solid. I mean, you say what you got to say about that movie. We've talked that movie to death on this podcast. But, he was whatever in that movie. It wasn't his fault. Terrible writing in regards to that. And I still have yet to see Justice League. So I have no idea how he turned out to be in that. And so, and then as an actor in general, Henry Cavill's fantastic in the new Mission Impossible movie. He's great in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., so he's a solid star. That being said, that's why I'm confused with this whole idea that he's gone. I'm just very confused by this because he is Superman in many people's eyes right now. He is what we wanted. Excuse me. He's what we wanted in a Superman character and an actor. He plays Clark Kent well. He plays Superman well. If anything, he plays it superbly. He's fantastic at what he does. And so it's very confusing to see this news come out regarding him being out. And so after the news came out, a couple hours I think passed by. I was on my way to work, and it hit me when Antonio sent this to our little group chat that we have with the podcast guys, and it freaking what? I was just confused. I didn't believe it. He sends a picture, not a link. He sends a screenshot of Michael B. Jordan being it states that Michael B. Jordan is being eyed to play the next Superman. And in the top right corner had the IGN logo, and I was just like, yeah, sure. Someone certainly photoshopped this and is just pulling our leg right now because it's funny to do so. And I was like, no way. There's no way this is real. It's very likely that it's not real. It's very in the sense that the source that they got it from is just fucking with them and they're lying and they're making jokes about it. Or it's very possible that they are. And I don't care. Fuck it. Like, who cares who plays Superman in all honesty? Yes, he'll be the first ever black Superman. But, like, who gives a shit? If he can play Superman, he can play Superman. I don't care. It was just, but my thing about it was just so, like, it was so left field. Like, the news just came out an hour ago, 3 hours ago, and already you're talking about actors who are going to replace him. You're already talking about people that are, like, even if they said, like, Whitey McWhitey was going to fucking play, it would have still been like, what? Like, why are we talking about this right now? Let us figure out whether this story regarding Superman is real, Henry Cavill's real or not. And then let's move forward in talking about who's going to fucking play him. But the idea of Michael B. Jordan playing, it is really unusual to see a character as Superman being portrayed by an African American person. So the other thing is, how weird the country is now. Imagine they hear that their beloved Superman's being played by someone that's not white. Freaking people are gonna freak out. It's just so that's gonna be a whole different issue that people are gonna get stupid about. Again, I don't care who plays Superman as long as the actor plays him like Superman. That's it. That's all you need to do. But that's a whole different animal that Warner Brothers will get themselves into down the road if that is the case. I'm open to it, man. Like, I me. Try it out. Try it. Do it. You're spending hundreds of $millions anyway. Might as well risk something like that to your stupid fan base. Because, again, Superman fans are weird. I don't want to get into it, but Superman fans, from what I understand, they're just very traditionalists. I respect that. I get it. So, but anyway, Michael B. Jordan would be an interesting choice. Definitely not everyone's first pick, but it would be an interesting idea. But that being said, that story comes out. I didn't believe it. I go check on I go check on Google. Is this story real or not? It is from IGN. I click on it, and it's like so weird. I don't believe it. I like this, and I couldn't read the article because I was basically walking into work or whatever at that point or on my way. So I couldn't really read the article. I still have yet to read the article, so I apologize for that. But But it was, again, still bizarre because it's like, regardless of who the actor is, the fact that the story just came out like 2 minutes ago, it feels like, you're already going, oh, well, this guy's going to play him, that guy's going to play him. And I'm just like, no. Like, can we just focus on the fact that this is a story right now and the fact that, we need to get the truth out. We need to figure out whether or not Cavill is Superman or not. We need to figure that out now. And no one seemed to want to care about that. They wanted to focus on, let's go and talk about possibilities. And that kind of annoyed me. I was very annoyed. I'm also very upset about how DC has handled this whole situation. And we'll get to that in a second. So after the story comes out, his agent comes out and says something. His agent, who she is Danny Garcia. She's The Rock's. You guys know Dwayne The Rock Johnson. They used to be married to each other for a while. That's Cavill's agent, apparently. So she comes out and tweets, "Be peaceful. The cape is still in his closet. At Warner Brother Pictures has been and continues to be our partners as they evolve the DC universe. Anticipate a Warner Brothers statement later today." This is what she said at 11 in the morning yesterday. And so, very simple statement. Basically saying that, no, he's still Superman. Meaning, like, with her statement saying the cape is still in his closet, and he still has it. And, that Warner Brothers has been a good partner in all of this as they continue to change the DC universe, meaning the movies, and what's to be said going forward. And so anticipate a Warner Brothers statement later today. And so everyone was like, "Oh, okay, where's Warner Brothers' statement?" And then the statement came out, and so here's what they said. While no decisions have been made regarding any upcoming Superman films, we've always had great respect for and a great relationship with Henry Cavill, and that remains unchanged. And so, kind of confirming that nothing is going on here. But I don't know. What I would like to read into that a little bit. So, while no decisions have been made regarding upcoming Superman films, meaning there's no plans currently for Superman Man of Steel 2 or 3 or whatever. There's no plans on that. There's no plans on a Justice League 2 movie, it seems, in regards to that. And so what does that mean? Well, we have yet to figure out whether or not we're going to use him still. It's kind of what I get from that. And we've always had great respect for and great relationship with Henry Cavill. Fine. You could still have a great relationship and still have great respect for someone that you could lose, that you're going to lose, that you're going to fire or whatever. It's completely possible to have that still, even though you're going to get rid of somebody. So, again, this is not yet confirming, nor is it quite denying whether or not he's going to stay. And so it's, again, very confusing to me. They've yet to say anything concrete, and that's their problem. That is DC's problem. And I think the wonderful John Campea said this on his show, because he went all out on this. And if you want to check it out, definitely check out his channel. He goes into why DC is full shit right now, basically, and why they need to get their act together, and I agree. I feel that DC right now, and they've been this since they've started this whole, whatever they call it, the DC Cinematic Universe, the DC Universe, whatever it is that they call it. They have continued since day one, and they have continuously done this, become reactionary. Every time a fan says something, or a group of fans say something, or whatever it may be, that's in the public eye, they react to it right away. And they freak out, and they're like, "Oh my God, blah, 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 we will fix this." And it winds up hurting them. Fans aren't, we're not always right. That's why we're not movie producers. That's why most of us aren't, top execs or directors or writers on these movies. I get it. Don't always listen to the fans. I'm a firm believer in that. John is too. I'm a firm believer in don't listen to the fans all the time. Listen to what they have to say. Take an input on it. But don't react to everything that they give you. A lot of the time you'll contradict yourself if you listen to the fans. Because some fans will say they want X to happen, and then the other group was say they want Z to happen, and then it turns out you're contradicting yourself if you do both. So that's one problem of theirs. Another problem of theirs is that they never seem to have, at least in the public eye, a schedule of anything that's going to be coming out in the next 5 years, 4 years, even the next 2 years. They don't have anything really concrete set up. They say every other freaking month that they lost a director to the Flash movie. One day it's this type of Flash story, and the other day it's that one. And they lose, writers for this movie. They lose ideas for that movie. The problem is they'll come out and they'll be like, oh, we're gonna make this movie, without really just figuring out whether they are or not. Like, what? Oh, we're gonna make a Gotham City Sirens movie. Okay, cool. We're not. No, it turns out that but we are. No, we still are. And I don't even know where it lands right now. I don't know if they're still doing it. We're making a Harley Quinn movie. Oh, it's not coming out till like 2055 because we have no fucking idea how to make a Harley Quinn movie. What? I mean, that's not what was ever said, but just joking, of course. But we're making 6 Joker movies, and one's gonna be held by Quentin Tarantino, and one's gonna be held by I know he's not doing one, but Martin Scorsese is apparently involved in the big one that's coming out, apparently with the Joaquin Phoenix and Mark Maron and Robert De Niro and stuff, and so like it's just so confusing, and then the whole controversy surrounding when Justice League was coming out and whether or not it was over budget and how many times was it reshot and all the issue with Zack Snyder and the whole thing that his daughter the tragedy that occurred with his daughter, but then them using that as leverage. It was just it's a mess there. A mess. Basically telling Zack Snyder, get the fuck out of here. But then in public saying, well, he had a tragedy in his life and he had to move on. But it's kind of like not kind of what happened behind closed doors from what we understand now. Just all bizarre stuff that's going down at DC, and it's like they need to get their shit together. Yes, they got a new guy at the helm as I forget his name. The new gentleman running DC Pictures or Warner Brother Pictures, whatever his name is, or whatever the department is, the Hamada guy. And it's gonna. John's right. They're going to take some time for the public to see the choices that he's making hit us in public. But, my thing is, I think you could handle these things a little differently. Because, let's face it. You have Batman, played by Ben Affleck, who is phenomenal. He's fantastic as Batman. I think he's probably the best Batman we've ever had on camera. Best Bruce Wayne. I know. Yeah, a lot of people don't think that, but I feel like he is. I don't care what you say. That trilogy from Nolan, if you watch them today, for me, just doesn't work as much as they did when they came out. That's it. I don't know. That Batman voice creeps me out. It's just that doesn't work anymore. Not saying each movie on their own doesn't work out. Or parts of it don't work out. Whatever. I'm just saying like the character of Batman for me, from Christopher Nolan, just not my cup of tea anymore. So anyway, Ben Affleck is phenomenal. I think he's probably the best Batman we ever had on screen. I've said that a million times on this podcast. And then same thing goes for Cavill. Cavill is a phenomenal Superman. I think he's probably the best Superman we've had, or at least a Superman we quite deserve on screen. Wonder Woman, I mean, it's like our only incarnation in Wonder Woman movie ever, so like, hey, she's the best Wonder Woman ever. Say what you want about how she acts or, her star power, who cares? She's done a fantastic job, Gal Gadot, as Wonder Woman. And then the guy that plays Cyborg, I have no idea because I haven't seen Justice League, and I forget the kid's name that plays the Flash. Whatever, haven't seen it. But you have my point is you have a solid group of you have a group of characters to play with that are pretty solid, great actors and whatnot. And then you have Shazam coming out, and then you have the crew from Suicide Squad, and then you have that's basically it. That's basically all the movies, right? You have all this talent going around, and then you lose two of the biggest names, or at least it looks like you lost two of the biggest names on that list. You can't move on. I'm sorry. You can't move on. You have to destroy your child, your baby here. You have to axe this universe now. Because if you're going to soft reboot, meaning like if you're going to continue this slowly and be like, well, not even a soft reboot, if you just continue this and be like, well, pretend that Ben Affleck was never Batman. So we're going to come out with like, you know, hypothetically, let's say we're going to come out with a Batman versus Superman 2. And it's you know, Jake Gyllenhaal as Batman and Michael B. Jordan as Superman. And you want me to believe that those are the same two guys from the previous movie? No, it's obviously not going to happen. So let's say you do a soft reboot, meaning like it's the same universe, but different people are now helming it in the sense of like, you know, maybe Batman died and somebody took over the mantle, and Superman, his cousin Jimmy, is now Superman. You know, if they do something stupid like that, also, no, not going to happen. There's only one Superman. There's also only one Batman. You know, you're not. No one's going to feel for a guy who didn't lose his parents like that, and for that whole character to even make sense. So anyway, that won't work. What you have to do is completely redo all this. Now, the question is, do you completely redo all this and then keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman moving forward and still make us go, listen, it's a completely different world. This is completely different, but we did keep a couple of the actors just to keep it working because, you know, she did work out for us in the other universe we were doing. So this is going to be something. I have no idea what the hell's going on. Or they could do something like they do in the comics, you know, like, you know, this is Wonder Woman from Earth 1, and then this is Superman from Earth 66, or, you know, whatever. They could do something like that. It will be very confusing for the average moviegoer. Maybe. I don't know. But then again, it's Warner Brothers, it's DC, they're never clear on anything, so they'll probably just do it without even telling us. They'll probably just do it without even telling themselves. And they're just going to freaking just begin and greenlight everything. And then it's all going to go to shit just like it is now. And I just don't understand. You have some of the best intellectual property known to man. You have the two of the most recognizable characters in the history of not even just comics, in the history of art, in the history of film, of anything. You have two of the most iconic IPs in the world, and you're going to ruin it by not being able to keep the actors on, by not being able to put a story group together that knows what they're talking about. You seem to be doing, in a sense, what Kathleen Kennedy has slightly been doing, in a sense, with the episode movies, which is, I believe, that Episode 7 came out and was created, and yet they thought nothing about Episode 8 or 9, and they'll let the other writer and director group deal with Episode 8, which is what led Rian Johnson, who actually I think Last Jedi, as you know, I think is a great movie, but you could see that it wasn't as you could tell that maybe JJ didn't want that happening in Episode 8, and so now he might course correct that in Episode 9. It just seems to me that, you know, communication was lost there. And I feel like that is exactly what's going down in DC. No one is talking to each other. There's not a head group there that seems to give a crap. And that's sad. And I'm sure they do. And here's the thing. I genuinely believe these people are obviously good people. They care, but it doesn't seem that way to the public eye. And that's my big problem here. So whether or not Cavill is still Superman or not, past today's recording, is a big question. And the reason it's a big question is because he came out yesterday with this weird Instagram video of him wearing what seems to be like it says kryptonite, but also says a couple other things on the shirt, but it says Kryptonite on it. So he's wearing a Superman related T-shirt, and then there's music playing in the background. I can't remember the song, but it's like a the song when you hear it, but it's like a weird rendition of it. And then he's holding a Superman action figure, and it comes into frame from the bottom, and he pulls it up, and it goes up, and it's in a box, and then he pulls it back down, and he's smiling the whole time, kind of in a weird way. And so I don't know no one knows what to take this as. Like, is it confirming the fact that he's gone as Superman? Because, people are interpreting it as, he came into frame and he came out of frame. He's gone. He's no longer Superman. Or, is it, or is he just trolling us and being like, ha ha ha, I'm still Superman, bitches. Yeah, I don't know what it means. I don't even know how to read into it, to be honest. I really don't. There are people on the internet, on Twitter, saying, well, this is just, and I really, really, really hope this is true. Some people think this is just a sick way of getting contract negotiations into the public eye, showing that, let's feed this news story into the public and see how they react. If they like this story and they want him gone, cool. We know we have leverage here as Warner Brothers. If they don't, and it seems that the people love him, oh fuck, we don't have leverage. Or it could be Cavill's people doing it too. Like, it could be whoever's side. I kind of hope that's real. I mean, granted, it's disgusting the fact that you have to do that, but I kind of hope that that story is real. I hope that is the true side of all this. That, hey, these are just contract negotiations, and we're moving forward this way. Fine, as long as you can keep Cavill. I want you to keep Cavill, man. I really do. Now, I'm a firm believer that if you get rid of just Batman, like if you get rid of just Affleck, and you keep every other actor involved, you could continue this universe. I'm a believer in that. I feel like you could make me believe that, okay, maybe you could do something with the Batman story that maybe it is the same Batman, just a different actor in there. And you just got to believe that that's Batman. But my issue is making both two of the most iconic characters to make me believe in two new actors. That's going to be tough for the average moviegoer. But to make me believe that one actor left and another actor is now the same character, I think that's more, it's more plausible in the world in which we live in. So, I don't know. This news of whether or not he's Superman, whether or not he's not Superman, is just so freaking mind-boggling. It's so confusing. It's so kind of annoying that we have to even talk about this, because yet another ridiculous story coming from the DC world. And so I know I just went all over tangent-wise, and that's hence why it's Tangent Fridays. I went all over the place. I probably didn't even discuss exactly what I wanted to talk about, but I think I did. I think I hit every nail on the coffin. And so I really hope this gets resolved. I really hope we figure out. Watch the moment I finish recording here. There's probably like brand new news. Henry Cavill was never going to leave DC or whatever it may be. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But that has been today's Tangent Friday. I've been Peter Cabranes, and I hope you guys stay tuned. We have some cool and fun things coming to Facts Not Included in the next couple of weeks. Some interviews are coming, and so it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget to check out us on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Don't forget to always make sure you are following us on Facebook and Twitter, because that is where all the news drops for Facts Not Included. We're always tweeting out things and posting things and stuff like that. We're always reacting to what our fans have to say. We want this place to be an interactive show. We want the fans to be a part of it. So if you can at any point, just hit us up, guys, and we wanna talk to you all, the wonderful fans of Facts Not Included. I thank you guys so much for watching this or listening to this episode. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye bye.